I'm Rory Day-Stewart. I'm the Executive Director of the Oregon Department of Geology and Mineral Industries and the Oregon State Geologist. I oversee all agency policy, function and business and budget, and so my job is to look as far down the road as possible and develop new areas for the Geological Survey and for the Mineral Lands Regulation and Reclamation Program.
One of the program's main function is to ensure that mining activities, which is an ultra-hazardous activity, don't cause adverse environmental impacts or off-site harm to the environment. We also ensure that mined lands are reclaimed to what we call a secondary beneficial use, which means that they go back to some functional state for the state of Oregon.
Reclamation can entail a number of things. Sites can be reclaimed to a post-mining beneficial use. That could be anything from fish and wildlife habitat to, say, an industrial lot for future industrial development. Mining is often one of those things that happens under the radar. It is not necessarily one of the cooler things in the geology fields, but it's certainly one of the things that is vital to our economy. It's vital to our nation and our commerce. There's bigger and broader benefits to the work that we do, and we see those benefits on a day-to-day basis.
I guess being an engineer and geologist, it kind of invokes two whys for me. One is understanding landslides better, and the other is then helping the citizens of Oregon understand that hazard and reduce risk to it. We do research on landslides, but figuring out how often they may occur and where they may occur, and then transferring that information to the public so that they can understand the hazard as well, and then actually working with them on how to reduce risk from that hazard.
One thing that's really great about DOGAMI is their supportive staff and encouraging staff to do what they see is right and what is going to do the most to support our mission of helping keep Oregon safe and prosperous. And so there's been a lot of support when I say I think something needs to get done. I'm getting support from management to figure out how to make that happen.
I think the piece that differentiates DOGAMI from other geologic research institutes or institutions is going to be the sustained engagement and the continued work that is in the public's interest. I get to work and get to look at maps and look at reports that were written in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, 70s, like almost 100 years of research that I get to rely on in order to present the information. So, and then thinking that the work that I'm getting to do is going to contribute to that long-term sustained engagement of supporting the mission of DOGAMI and supporting the people of Oregon.
Right now, we're at the Oregon Paleolands Institute Interpretive Center in Fossil, Oregon. We are currently in the process of mapping landslides and looking at hazards and risks related to landslides in multiple counties in eastern Oregon. And particularly in areas east of the Cascades, we want to be able to have those open channels of communication between communities and the agency so we understand the community needs and the community is able to benefit from the work that we do.
In my day-to-day, I manage an exceptional group of about 20 scientists and analysts that are engaged in looking at natural hazards, geologic mapping, and understanding the state's mineral and energy resources. So Oregon has the potential to host a number of critical mineral resources, in particular lithium, which is important for making electric batteries. We now know that that type of resource exists in Southeast Oregon at a place called McDermott. And so we're now focusing a lot of our geologic mapping on understanding McDermott, how the lithium resource formed, and how it might be produced into the future to meet both Oregon's resource and the nation's resource needs.